Hey everyone, it's the weekend. You know what that means? Time to get nothing done at all, or nothing, or anything. Is it nothing or anything? Whatever. This is Kid Icarus, episode 3, and we are in level 1-3. Now this is probably one of the hardest levels in the game. Of course, I have my strength upgrade, and I also have my health upgrade, so I have 2 bars of health, which is greatly helpful. So things I didn't really talk about the strength upgrade. I don't think I had. Maybe I did, but I'm gonna talk about it again anyway. So yeah. If you have a strength upgrade of say 2, that allows you to kill enemies that take 2 hits with the single strength upgrade. So like for example, those red guys, they usually take 2 hits. Well, now they have a strength upgrade of 2, they will only take 1 hit. So yeah, basically any enemies that take 1 hit, with whatever the enemies take with a single hit of strength, is what level of strength you need in order to kill them with 1 hit, basically. So, what else to talk about? Well, with strength upgrade, I think I mentioned this, but I'll mention it again. If you go to a store and you store, not black market, but it won't work in the black market, but at a store, if you use A and B, if you press those buttons, and on the Wiimote, it's actually the A and B buttons, it's not 1 and 2, you will be able to lower the prices, so it's very useful. Very useful. Like, keyword is very. So you definitely want to get strength upgrades, besides the fact that they make the game much easier, so that alone should be a reason to get a strength upgrade. So let's see. This is the last area besides the fortress of the Underworld. And those pink things are damage squares, basically. Think of them as like lava or bloody water, or I don't know, something that damages you when you jump. I don't guess bloody water doesn't damage you, but whatever. It's video games, whatever. If you jump into it, they will damage you. But sometimes, and again, this game is a little bit glitchy, which you can take advantage of. But sometimes if you jump into it, it won't hurt you right away. I don't know if that's a glitch or if that's what's supposed to happen. But here I'm using the code, so let's buy a feather, and I believe I have enough for no, actually I don't. I don't have enough, but and I think I already have one, but a water of life jug. They're useful to have. It's useful to have those as well. I believe I already mentioned this, but let's grab a cup of life. A cup of life. Life in a cup. So let's see. So at this point, today, I will be heading back to college. And yeah, hammers we'll talk about next time. You don't need hammers, but it's useful to have them, as you'll see. But at this point, I should be heading back to college today, as in Saturday. I don't know. I really liked my schedule last year. It was a really awesome schedule. This year, after looking at it again, I'm like, okay, it's not gonna be that bad. But at first, I was very hesitant because I have classes earlier in the morning, and a lot of them, like last semester, they were all kind of like at the same time. So, yeah, you know what? It's okay. But the classes are pretty cool. Now here's the treasure room. Treasure room, if you get all of the jars broken, you will receive a prize, a really good prize. So you want to break all the jars, because hammers and hearts aren't really all that worth it. Also, every time you break a jar, you will lose hearts, and also experience, I believe. So yeah, see the feather? Now, you may be wondering, how did you get that on the first try? Well, there is technically a way to do it so that you always get the treasure. Basically, in like stage 1, if you break the ones I broke, basically, depending on how many hammers there are, that will decide whether or not where the position of the Reaper. If you get the Reaper, you will have to just leave the treasure room. But the Reaper, if you get it, or I think it's called the God of Poverty, but if you get that, you will have to just leave the treasure room. Or you can just grab one of the hearts and hammers, and you'll all the other jars will disappear, and anything that has like any of the hearts and hammers that you got, you can just pick those up. But if you want to get it all the way, break the jars, and only in World 1. Don't do it in World 2 or World 3, because this only works in World 1. There's a different thing for World 2 and 3. But for World 1, break the jars I broke, and then if there's 0 mallets, the position is the lower left-hand corner. If there's 1 hammer, it's not the top right corner. If there's 2 hammers, it's where I got it, I believe, right below the right hand top corner. And if there's 3 hammers, it's in the middle. So yeah, it's a little cheap, but you know, it works. Now about treasure rooms, the treasure you'll get depends. It varies. It's either the feather, like I got. I believe there's also balls of life, and then there's barrel. You can get a barrel there, and that's a black market, I believe. If you can get a barrel there, that's really great because that's the only thing you really need the black market for. Then, unless you are really need balls of life, but that otherwise, there's really not. Well, there is something else, but I'll talk about that when we get to that, which will be pretty soon. But yeah, most stuff at the black market's not worth it for the most part, unless you're dying to need it, or if you're gonna die if you don't get it. But the other thing, there's one more thing that you can only get in the treasure room, is credit card. And I'm serious, it's credit card. What does a credit card work? Well, basically, if you go to you can only use credit card black market. If you go to black market and you buy an item and you don't have enough hearts, it'll be taken on credit. So that means every other heart that you earn, you won't earn any hearts. Your heart count will stay at 0 until you repay back what you owe. This here is a training room. That friendly god is throwing gigantic what would you call those? He's throwing those things at you. I totally blanked on what you would call them. Like, it's a very simple word, like planks. I guess plank. We're gonna call them plank. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, when I first played this, I was like, screw this. I'm not staying here. I don't care if you call me a chicken. So I just flee. You definitely want to do this. If you don't do this, the game is gonna be a lot harder. If you do it, the game is 100% easier. Because you get a weapon for doing this. You need this 3 times, but you need all the weapons. That's how you get 100%. You'll need 3 weapons. The one I picked is, I believe, the defensive crystal. You won't see it in work until World 2, because the weapons, they lose their effect when you go into fortresses. But it basically makes you a lot harder to hit. Enemies are a lot harder. It makes it a lot harder for enemies to hit you. So you definitely want those weapons. The other 2 I'll get later on, because you can only get 1 per trading room. And not only that, but if you lose your weapon, there's a way to lose it, and I'll talk about later. But if you lose your weapon, you can buy those back at the black market as well. But anyway, that's all the time I really have. This has been Mega Freak 400 reminding you to go eat some eggplants.